Next, it's Monday Night Baseball on Game of the Night.
Hello, I'm Pam Ward. Welcome as ESPN Classic remembers Willie Stargell. Stargell died early Monday after a long battle with a kidney disorder. He was 61. Stargell helped lead the Pittsburgh Pirates to 2 World Series championships and 6 National League East titles. He was a first-ballot Hall of Famer who finished his career with 475 home runs. But more importantly, he was a leader who touched his teammates and the fans of Pittsburgh. With more on the man affectionately known as Pops, here's Reese Davis.
When you're a kid, you pick up a stick and you hit a rock and you want to be a ball player and you want to get to the major leagues. You want to go to all-star games and get in the World Series and hit home runs and just do something dramatic.
In 21 years in the major leagues, Willie Stargell seemed to have surpassed his wildest expectations. He began in 1962, Stargell learning the ropes from Roberto Clemente. In 1971, the Pirates won the World Series behind Clemente's brilliant play and Stargell's winning run in a decisive 7th game. When Clemente was killed in a plane crash the following year, Stargell was thrust into a starring role.
Well, Roberto is just a special individual to begin with. And he passed on a baton to me. And the things that he taught me about the game and being a man was a big part of my life.
Throughout his career, the imposing lefty built an impressive resume of tape-measure home runs. Those hits put fear in his opponents and brought joy to his teammates.
But every time the Stargell would come up to bat, we'd all peek over the fence and watch him hit because he just had that sound of the bat was a little different than everybody else hit, and you knew he was something special.
Stargell's biggest impact came late in his career as a leader who made the game fun.
If you think about Stargell, and on days that I didn't pitch, you saw a guy that really enjoyed playing every day. They really had a real light love for the game, that he saw the game in a broader sense.
Starge was magnificent. He was a great leader. They called him Pops not just because he was older, but because to many of the players he was a father figure to them. He would help them when things got tough, when things weren't going well for the other players. They respected his opinions.
1979 was a landmark year for Pops. His love for R&B music provided the team an inspiration. The song "We Are Family" became Pittsburgh's anthem, and the Steel City sang the Sister Sledge hit in unison. At age 38, with ailing knees, Stargell shared National League MVP honors with Keith Hernandez and led the Pirates to the World Series. Trailing 3-1, Pittsburgh would come back to force a Game 7.
McGregor comes to him, and is a high fly ball into deep right center field. Back goes Stringle and away back to the wall. It's gone. He's done it. Pops has hit it out.
Stargell's performance in that game, 2 doubles, a single, and the decisive home run helped him win the series MVP. His sweep of the regular season, playoff, and World Series MVP awards is a feat still unmatched. After retirement, Stargell remained linked with the team and the city. He often appeared at Pirate games to throw out the first pitch. Each time, the ovations seemed to get louder. When the final game was played at Three Rivers Stadium, it was only fitting Stargell was the last player introduced.
It would be good if people realized that I had an education unlike any learning institution by being a ball player, rubbing shoulders with just good folks. It all boils down to is how you deal with people, and I've always felt everybody's somebody.
Stargell's finest moments came during that 1979 season. He hit 2 home runs as the Pirates swept the Reds in the NLCS. And trailing 3-1 in the World Series against Baltimore, Pops willed his family to victory. We now present the culmination of Stargell's drive, Game 7 of the 1979 World Series. ESPN Classic remembers Willie Stargell.
ABC Sports presents Game 7 of the 1979 World Series. Live from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, the National League champion Pittsburgh Pirates and the American League champions Baltimore Orioles. And in game number 6, it was Big Dave Parker who started the Pirates rolling toward a 4-0 victory with that shot to the outfield to get the first run home in the 7th inning. 4-0 to even the series at 3-3. And then came these two pitchers. Lefty John Candelaria, 6 shutout innings, 4 rib cage and all, did his job. And then the ace reliever Kent Jacoby slammed the door on the Orioles. Thus everything is on the line tonight. Be few October evenings more pleasant than this one as we settle down for Game 7 between the Pirates and the Orioles in Baltimore. Another full house to watch. We're glad you could join us, and the President of the United States is also with us. Well, just a few minutes ago, President Carter and his party walked in to sit down in the commissioner's box, and there you see President Jimmy Carter with Baseball Commissioner Bowie Kuhn. And he's without coat because it's that kind of a comfortable night, and we're delighted he could join us for this Game 7 in the World Series of 1979. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. There are many ways to define pressure, I guess, depending on the person and the circumstance. But at this level of professional sport, you always anticipate the best is going to come out of the individual player. These two teams are made up of men of character, and we should see an outstanding baseball game tonight. There's some grist to chew on as you ponder the beginning of this game, though. Let me tell you about the middle of the Baltimore batting order over the last 4 games. Hitters numbers 4, 5, and 6 have had 5 base hits and 48 trips to the plate and produced only 3 runs. Now, in 3 games that Baltimore won, they scored in bunches. In the first game, they scored 5 in the first inning. In game number 3, in which they won, they had another 5-run outburst. And in game number 4, they had a 6-run inning. But without the middle men in your batting order, hitters 4, 5, and 6 producing, you are not going to put together big innings. And that's the problem that Earl Weaver spoke of in the pregame show, and it worries him tonight. Now let's turn to Howard Cosell for his comments going into this climactic moment of the 79 series.
Well, thank you very much, Keith, and you're exactly right. You hit the nub of the matter from the Earl Weaver viewpoint. We need, as he calls it, Dr. Long Ball. At the same time, amplifying that which Keith just told you, let's look more closely at the 2 big hitters, or presumed big hitters, of the Birds. Kenny Singleton, 10 out of 25. Good hitting percentage. But by his own admission, Kenny wants to explode the long ball, for which he was so noted during the season. He has yet to do so. Eddie Murray got off to a big early start, went 4 for 5. Remember, he is now 4 for 22. On the pitching side, the starter's edge may belong to young Scotty McGregor, who pitched so brilliantly the last time around. The edge in the bullpen, however, seems to belong to Pittsburgh. They've got so many who are oh so ready. But to fill you in more fully on the respective pitching staffs, the one and only Don Drysdale.
Well, thank you very much, Howard. And as you look at the 2 pitchers tonight, you just might figure that they are penciled in because this is it. This is the final game. There is no tomorrow. We've said that before. Jim Bibby and Scott McGregor. Scott McGregor has already won. Right now, Scott McGregor coming out tonight. He has clinched the pennant for the Baltimore Orioles. He won Game 3, and he's ready to go tonight. Jim Bibby, the key once again is going to be control. If Bibby has control, he can be awfully tough. But when you go to spring training and you think about what's going to happen in the fall, you think of the World Series. Well, that's where we are. We're here, Game 7, and we'll see what's going to happen. It ought to be a great one. Right now, let's go to Rex Barney, and we'll meet the players.
Your attention, please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups for Game 7. First, the National League champion, Pittsburgh Pirates. Manager, Chuck Tanner. Leading off, center fielder, Omar Marino. Batting second, shortstop, Tim Foley. Hitting third, right fielder, Dave Parker. In the fourth position, left fielder Bill Robinson. The fifth place hitter, first baseman Willie Stargell. Batting sixth, third baseman Bill Madlock. Batting seventh, catcher Steve Nicosia. The eighth place batter, second baseman Phil Garner. Hitting ninth and warming up in the bullpen, pitcher Jim Bibby. The rest of the National League champion Pittsburgh Pirates. And now your American League champion, Baltimore Orioles. Manager Earl Weaver. Batting first, center fielder Al Bumbry. In the second position, shortstop, Kiko Garcia. Hitting third, right fielder, Ken Singleton. The cleanup hitter, first baseman, Eddie Murray. Fifth place hitter, left fielder, John Lowenstein. Batting sixth, third baseman, Doug DeCinces. Hitting seventh, catcher Rick Dempsey. In the eighth spot, second baseman, Rich Dower. Batting ninth and warming up in the bullpen, pitcher Scott McGregor. And the remainder of the American League champion, Baltimore Orioles.